Welcome everyone. In this video, we're going to play some games with the Red Miracle deck of the Vibes TCG. This deck was created by Caution Fun, and the idea is it's a really control-y red deck where you're kind of like getting control of the board, and then you're winning with a big Screaming Penguin, or maybe just with card advantage. So let's talk a little bit about how this deck works. And it's really designed in order to have a decent match against Coliseum decks. I will say that overall, I still think this is not favored into Coliseum, but it does have a fighting chance. And so we'll go through all the cards, but I'll talk about specifically the Coliseum matchup since it's such a large portion of the ladder right now. So unfortunately, the thing is not working where you like double click on a card to make it bigger. So we'll just have to talk about the cards in their little form. Okay, so first we've got our early game penguins. So I added Bamboo Penguin to the list. This is a card that I think I'm not sure if it belongs in here, but I felt that sometimes you just need a little more pudge, and it's just kind of an early game penguin. Then you've also got Peace Out Penguin in the early game. Now, Peace Out Penguin is just super strong because it's basically a 2-for-1 built in if you can pull it off. And then you've also got LilSinger, which is also really good from the standpoint of you can choose to win or lose vibe checks with it. And it can help kind of just push your penguins out of popcorn range or just to get like a screaming penguin to have like 7 vibe so that it can then you only need to boost it one less time because often things are even vibe. And we've also got RunItBackPenguin, which is very good in this deck because you can recycle cards, and InsomniacPenguin because right when you're kind of going off your miracle turn, which is the turn you're going to play a lot of the one pudge red actions and then end with have an encore or with have end with drop of attention or a giant screaming penguin. Insomniac Penguin is really amazing because it can just give you basically infinite pudge. The other two penguins that are in this deck are LilComic, which is just really good against Bizbunk. But you can also, if you maybe have a fast start, you can actually hit a green Mega Penguin, although that's pretty unlikely. Typically with this card, it's just really good against Bizbunk, or it's really good going into your drop of attention turn to see your opponent's hand. And then you've got SimonSmasher. So this is kind of how the Coliseum matchup works: is you're trying to get SimonSmasher out on the board before they play Coliseum. So the way that SimonSmasher works is you basically get it out on the board, and then the turn before they play Coliseum, ideally, and then you can basically just need to get any red action off the top of your deck, and then that will enable you to ice their Coliseum. The alternative way that you play against Coliseum is you basically get a hit the high note off the top of your deck, return the Coliseum to their hand, and then you basically get a drop of attention off because at that point you have access to your hand again. So those are the kind of two lines against Coliseum. Oh, and then the third thing you can do is do heads I win, tails you lose, and discard their Coliseum from their hand. Because typically with Run It Back Penguin, you can maybe get this off 2 or 3 times in the game. And if you line it up against their hand with only having the Coliseum in it, you should be able to discard it. Other than that, we've just got a bunch of these like one pudge draw cards, like HaveanEncore, which also unflops some of your penguins. HeresPengy, which just draws cards. TossUp, which again draws cards, but if you're lucky, you can kind of repeat it on Screaming Penguin sometimes, or just repeat it for a drop of attention. We also just run WhataTwist to unflop penguins, which can be really useful against caffeine, or just on if you're just somehow pudge limited on that turn, you're trying to clear everything. Or if your Screaming Penguin is flopped by caffeine, you also have an encore to unflop. And then TrustFall. TrustFall is another one of these draw cards, but it's really nice because you can use it on Insomniac Penguin to make it survive a drop of attention. So I think that's pretty much the deck. Oh yeah, then there's Binkus and Bunkus just for the Blue Mill and Bizbunk matchup. One thing that the Caution Fun list has is it played one Galaxy Penguin, which then lets you pull whichever one of these you want. So yeah, the changes I did from the original list is I took out a SimonSmasher and the Galaxy Penguin and put in 2 Bamboo Penguins. SimonSmasher, maybe we really should run 3 copies. I just always feel like it clogs up my hand. Um, However, it's like, and I just seem like I always have extra copies of it. But yeah, maybe you should have 3 SimonSmashers. If you're playing a lot of Coliseum, then you definitely want that. So anyway, and maybe instead of Bamboo Penguin, we should be playing the one drop. I'm not sure about that. Maybe that would be better. But anyway, here's the deck that I've been playing, the list I've been playing. So yeah, let's jump into some games. We'll see how it performs. And yeah, hopefully we'll do well. Before we jump in, one other thing I just wanted to say was this is definitely a very high skill cap deck. It took me a while to get a hang of it. So if you start playing with it and you are losing a bunch, don't feel discouraged. You just really need to figure out kind of the plan of attack for every game. And after that, I've been able to have a decently high, like well above 50% win rate with it. All right, jumping into the first game. So I think in general, I like keeping the curve of penguins. So I definitely want to have the penguins because getting pudge is important. I don't think I want to keep any of the Have an Encore. So specifically, what I would really like now is the Simon Smasher. And also Have an Encore is not a good activator for Bamboo Penguin. Okay, so I got the Simon Smasher. So I think I have the activator for Bamboo Penguin or for sorry for Peace Out Penguin. So um yeah, so the problem with Simon Smasher is if Coliseum hits the perfect curve, you will not actually be able to play Simon Smasher in time because they will play Coliseum on the turn that you have five fish. So that's why having a heads I win, tails you lose is very useful because that will actually give you the extra turn you need in order to get Simon Smasher down. Okay, so I guess we'll play hit the high note as the rod. We have like again, hit the high note against Coliseum is only really good in your deck. Because right, you can't if Coliseum's on the board, you can't play from your hand. So I do wonder, this is kind of seeming not like Coliseum, having not played anything the first two turns. So maybe this will be a biz bunk or something like that. Or some sort of blue deck maybe. So if it's a biz bunk, um okay, so WhataTwist is definitely the rod. So we'll keep the piece out back in our hand just because if your opponent knows that you have it, they can play around it. But yeah, I do actually like if it's not against Coliseum, I prefer to lose the vibe checks. So it's a little unfortunate. Like, we drew the very like on curve start, which is not usually how this deck plays. So maybe I should have just held back. But okay, so we do think that this might be Bizbunk, in which case, I'm gonna play the Peace Out Penguin this turn. Also, there's really no point to play any more rods. So we'll play the Peace Out just in case Ascending Penguin comes down. Because then the Peace Out will be able to remove the Ascending Penguin. And okay, so it's not. Um, it's some sort of blue Milkmaid deck. Okay, so the blue Milkmaid deck does like bouncing rods back to your hand. So okay, so we will just leave the Milkmaid on the board. I think we can get a 2-for-1 with the Peace Out Penguin. So okay, so not Bizbunk, so that's good. So okay, so but against a Milkmaid type deck, I do think we want to kind of keep our hand low. So I'll just play out the Screaming Penguin and do I want to play a rod? No, I think I can wait. So yeah, the only reason to play a rod, I guess, would be to with Peace Out Penguin. So okay, so this is a Coliseum deck. Okay, that's not what I was expecting, but okay. So given that it's a Coliseum deck, what does this mean we want to do? So we'll definitely play Simon Smasher. Well, we should play Simon Smasher just the turn before Coliseum because otherwise they know it's coming. Well, I mean they'll know it's coming anyway. So do I want to win this vibe check? Hmm, that's an interesting question. I guess I don't really. No, because I'm fine because I'd rather have more cards because a drop of attention would be really good. So I think in this case, because they had such a slow start, I want to. Okay, so we've got our drop of attention. So the only downside with a drop of attention is we're gonna actually get negative card advantage on ourselves. So, but I think we're going to have to. This is gonna have to be a drop of attention game. I don't really see. Okay, so they're at 7, right? So if they're gonna play Coliseum, right? If they win this vibe check, they would play Coliseum. So I could win the vibe check. Okay, so option one is I win the vibe check this turn. Option two is I clear the board this turn. Um, so I could play well because if I play Simon Smasher against Coliseum, yeah, but I don't really want to commit more to the board when I'm going to clear it. So I think I'm going to go for the board clear. So I guess I will just clear the board, and then yeah, because if I clear the board, we'll tie the vibe check, and then I can play Simon Smasher down. Okay. Um, yeah, so we're just gonna lose. Yeah, okay, so let's start with HeresPengy, because then we'll also see what card they're gonna draw. Because maybe I'll just, depending on what I draw, maybe I'll also just, wait one more turn. So, okay, so there's Colosseum at the top of the deck. Okay, so if there's a Colosseum at the top of the deck, I mean, they probably have a Colosseum in their hand, but if I win the vibe check, then they can't play Colosseum, so I can wait one more turn, so maybe that'll get them to play some more penguins, but if I play, I could play the toss-up. I could play the toss-up with a PeaceOutPenguin, and then yeah, because the other problem is I won't be able to use the RunItBackPenguin, because if I do the yeah, if I do the regular just here's Pengy and then, clear the board. Okay, well, yeah, the problem is I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to actually pull off that I'll be able to actually pull off the, what's it called? Yeah, that I'll be able to pull off the drop of attention otherwise. So is there any way yeah, this is really I wish I had something to unflop my penguins. Like, I have this WhataTwist, but I obviously don't wanna use that. So, okay, so if I wait one more turn well, I could wait one more turn because I have 2 run it backs. So that should be able to okay, so I could win this. They can get but I'm pretty sure they already have a Colosseum in their hand. So I'm not really worried about the Colosseum. I could win this vibe check and put SimonSmasher down, but that really won't help me. Yeah, see, this deck is so complicated. So I could clear the board here. If I clear the board here, I'll probably be in a pretty good position. So let's just clear the board. And yeah, we'll just clear the board. I don't know if this is right because we're really like we're anti-card advantaging ourselves here. And so they're going to get the Colosseum in their hand. But okay, so they were already going to get a Colosseum. So that's fine. So, right. Or I strongly believe they already had a Colosseum. Like, that's not a question. So, but they're going to only have 8 rods. So they can't play it this turn, which means I can play the SimonSmasher. And then, okay, so they're going to bounce house. Okay, I'm curious what. Okay, so yeah, so either way, they're still going to win this vibe check. So I will just hold back. Hmm. Yeah, because if they do a Coliseum now, oh, the problem is I don't have another red pudge. So if they Coliseum, I have to first get a red pudge and then a red action. So that's going to be a lot that needs to happen. I probably should have played a rod. That's probably a mistake not playing a rod. Okay, but they're going to play another. Okay, so they have a popcorn. So that's really not good for us. So we don't really have a good answer to that. So yeah. Okay, so this is definitely not a good. Yeah, because against the popcorn, I don't know what we're gonna do because the SimonSmasher is not gonna survive for sure. Okay, so let's do run it back because that way we'll win the vibe check, and then we can do Insomniac into or yeah, then at least we'll have a lot of rods if they play Coliseum because right we need to basically wait for the popcorn to ice itself now, and we definitely want to win the vibe check because if they play Coliseum, they're not gonna win the turn on the turn they play Coliseum. So with run it back, we can get the drop of attention again. So that's pretty good. So okay, so we get double LilSinger, so that's nice. I'm not really yeah, I'm not in a rush to get the reason I'm not playing the Bunkus as a rod is I think I'm gonna actually need it probably to win the game because it's 10 vibe. And if we do another drop of attention, so okay, so we're gonna do another drop of attention probably is kind of the path forward. So to do another drop of attention, so if Coliseum comes down, right, hopefully we will just get a hit the high note into drop of attention or something like that. So it'll be yeah, because we have the WhataTwist. So we already have 2 actions here. We get the drop of attention from run it back, so we just need one more action. So we can definitely get a drop of attention off if they get another if they get a Coliseum down. Okay, so they've got the green mega. So they're gonna win this vibe check. And they will be at 14 next turn. So we might as well use LilSinger on something. Um, Not that it really matters. Okay, so the idea is they're gonna play Coliseum this turn. Yeah, so that's a problem with SimonSmasher is popcorn. So although a lot of Coliseums don't play popcorn. So, but yeah, in this case they did. So I think again I'm navigating this not very well. I feel like because of the slow start they had, this should have been winnable. Maybe I did the drop of attention too prematurely. So if the Coliseum comes here, yeah. So now we need to basically um okay, so we could definitely play LilComic. Um okay, we ice the green Mega Penguin. Okay, we play Insomniac as a rod. Okay, we play LilComic. Um all right. I think there's a bug where this like breaks the game if I don't. No, but I don't want to ice this. Well, either way I lost, right? Okay, because I don't want to ice that. Okay. So because the problem is, yeah, I really needed an action off the top of my deck. So, yeah, because I don't have an action off the top of my deck, there's no way out of this. Right? Okay, so yeah, because right, if I need an action off the top of my deck, yeah, if I had an action, okay, so if I had an action off the top of my deck, it still wouldn't matter. I need to hit the high note basically. Was the only card. Okay. So anyway, we lose. So yeah, so this is again, I think this is not a good matchup. Or like I was saying, this is not a favored matchup. That being said, so the Simon Smasher into the so when I had the Simon Smasher, the popcorn destroying the Simon Smasher was really bad, right? So I was setting up everything perfectly, but because they had the popcorn, that didn't work. So then the only other decision was, did I do the drop of attention too early? Because I could have waited on the drop of attention, but I don't think it would have really helped in a situation. So I did get through 2 green Mega Penguins, and there was 1 more to go. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, well, let's jump to the next game. But yeah, I think that's a tough matchup to begin with. But okay. All right, taking a look at our opening hand, I think we keep the Simon Smasher just in case it's Coliseum. And yeah, I think maybe we keep the comic. I don't know. Probably not. Let's just keep the Smasher. Okay, so all right, so full of penguins and peace out, which is a good hand. We need an activator for peace out. So okay, so probably Coliseum based on the 1 drop. All right, so again, so I think against Coliseum, heads I win, tails you lose is one of the best ways to really disrupt their card draw. And we have a bunch of run it back. So I think we'll use a peace out penguin. This seems kind of crazy. If this is anything other than Coliseum, you definitely don't want to use a peace out. You would want to peace out penguin is like the best card in a deck, probably the game. Or I don't know. I mean, it's just such a strong card. But so we definitely want to be able to do heads I win, tails you lose as many times as possible with run it back, because that basically means you have 3 copies of it. And then we need Simon Smasher. So because of that, I guess it sounds like so the only question is this Coliseum or is this some sort of Fishsicle deck? Because if this is some sort of Fishsicle deck, okay, so we've got BambooPenguin, so that's good. Okay, so we can actually win a vibe check here, which is great. Because if this is some sort of Fishsicle deck, I am greatly regretting putting my Peace Out Penguin down. But okay, we'll definitely take winning the vibe check because that will help us kind of catch up. with the rods, because right, we need to get one rod ahead in order to be able to get SimonSmasher down before Coliseum. So at this point, though, yeah, I guess we have so many run it back penguins. So we can play one run it back penguin, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, so let's see again. Like, I'm very curious if this is maybe this is not maybe this is some sort of green fisticle deck. We'll really know more. No, okay. So it's a Coliseum deck. All right. So in that case, it's good. So then, yeah, so now I guess we'll just start the heads I win, tails you lose. Well, do I want to wait and try to just hit it when the Coliseum is in the hand? Or do I want to hmm, that's a good question. Because I could win another vibe check. So I could win the vibe check. So let's just pass. Because I'm not worried about it getting time to play the 3 heads I win, tails you lose. Because there's enough so yeah. Okay, so we've got drop of attention and a rod, so that's not great. But do we actually need the drop? Okay, we have another heads I win, tail you lose. So I think, yeah, so maybe I think I just play another run it back. Because I want to wait until, yeah, I think because they're playing this game very slow. So I want to wait until I can actually hit it, make sure I hit the Coliseum, because one of these cards is Coliseum. So that means, well, I guess I can play one at least. Let's just get one card out of their hand. And we could maybe even do Peace Out to get, okay, so we got one card out of their hand. So that means that, okay, so that's a bounce house. Okay. So next turn, I'm going to play SimonSmasher. I have to play SimonSmasher because that will be the turn that Coliseum is coming down afterwards, right? So, and then I can, yeah. So if they go down to basically just one card in their hand, okay. But they're okay. So they're staying at 6, right? Wait. So am I seeing this correctly? So they're at 6. Oh, but they have a fish sickle. Okay. So I have to definitely play SimonSmasher, and then I guess I will play a rod. I will play the InsomniacPenguin as a rod, I guess. Or no, I guess I'll play the TrustFall as a rod. Maybe that's wrong. Okay, so now, right, the idea is that do I want to play the heads I win, tails I lose? Because I could, if I hit it, yeah, so I think I'll play it. Because if I hit it, there's a chance that I can grab the other one. Then I have a 50% chance of, okay, well, I didn't hit it, so it's definitely not happening. Okay, so in that case, I think we just wait and just have all of our pudge, because now if the Coliseum comes down, we have the SimonSmasher on the board again. Well, the other good thing is if they had like a popcorn in hand, that would have helped me against that. So let's see. So if they have a, I wish I had a drop of attention in my hand, because I still don't really have a good way to win the vibe check. So right, if they play the Coliseum here, okay, so I just need a red. I need a red action basically. Okay, so the question is, do I go for a second red action? Because I could just wait for the here with the HeresPengy. I guess I'll do that. There's really no harm. Okay, so I'll just pass here, right? Because yeah, that doesn't, yeah, oh yeah, because you can't play the rods from your hand. Okay, so because it's risky. If I play this as a rod, hoping to get a penguin, yeah, because what if I end up with a like WhataTwist or something? So okay, so I'll pass here. So then, yeah, so I'll play Here's Pengy. Oh, good, and then I get heads I win, tails you lose. So I will also play that. Um, because right as soon as the Coliseum is destroyed, it's okay. Yeah. So and maybe okay. So now I'll draw the Insomniac. Okay, so now drop of attention. Oh, I end up drawing the drop of attention. Okay, so they have a sneaky penguin. Okay, so I will definitely get rid of the Colosseum. Okay, but I still need a way to actually win the game, right? Oh, I should have played the toss up. Okay, that was a mistake. Okay. Okay, big mistake on my part because I should have played the toss up from the top of my deck first. Yeah, I'm so okay, so now but okay, so we have toss up with drop of attention. So okay, so we can clear the board with drop of attention next turn, I think. So again, I guess I regret playing the TrustFall. Okay, so we've got SimonSmasher that can get rid of the inspiring story, so that should buy us one more turn. But do we just want to clear the board here? Can I clear the board? So I have I have two draws, 3, 4 with those. But I guess I think I'll just use the peace out to get rid of the lookout. I think I'm just gonna just really reduce the size of their board. We have such a big hand. So I don't think we need two Insomniacs. Do I need another LilSinger out now? I don't know. So okay, so what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna do toss up. I'm gonna peace out and use the because we're still gonna drop of attention next turn. But I guess I'll play the LilSinger just because we have so many cards out. So okay, so then although maybe actually next turn I'll just win with a giant screaming. So I'm not really sure, but okay, so I need to get this board under control just because if they top deck a Coliseum, it's gonna be not good for us for sure. So okay, so we don't get the extra card. All right, so Bunkus, maybe not the most useful. Okay, so we'll use SimonSmasher on the inspiring story. And then we'll use PeaceOutPenguin on on these two. So that should be able to buy us another turn or two. Because what I really need is I need a drop of attention to go off, I think. So okay. Well we're yeah, so we definitely need yeah, and then I'll use Little Singer. I guess I'll use Little Singer on the run it back. Just I don't know if this is gonna actually matter. Okay, so the idea is basically we'll need to get so there's two paths to winning from here. One is we have a screaming penguin that just gets bigger than their cards, than their milkmaid and the what's it called? Than the green mega penguin. And the second option is that I clear this board and then I just have a huge hand. So I think I'd rather clear the board because I think that should basically do it. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so we did end up winning. So that's kind of interesting that they weren't even that they already realized that they were gone. Um, but I think this was okay. So would this have been an automatic win for me? Because I would have basically played a drop of attention on the yeah. So I could have played a drop of attention if I played a drop of attention because right I could have done heads I win tail you lose and two run it backs. So I could have definitely cleared the board. And after the board is cleared, but if they ever top deck another Coliseum, if I don't have the SimonSmasher on the board, it could be a problem. So I'm not really sure. I don't think this was not an automatic win from here. So I think they gave up a little prematurely because if I played the Screaming Penguin this turn, so let's say I did Screaming Penguin, I would have done 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I could have played a rod. Let's say that I played the let's say I played the other no, whatever. Just for this, I'll just play the Bunkus as a rod and play the Little Singer. So that's what my turn could have looked like. So if I did that, I would have had 10. So I would have had they would have had 10. So I would have had 15 on the board. Their milkmaid would be 10. I could then Screaming Penguin to get Screaming Penguin up. I would have to basically draw one card with this because this would be 11. So I would need to play 3 actions. So I can do heads I win, tails you lose. Use a run it back to get a toss up and play the toss up. So then that would get the Screaming Penguin to 10, which is still not enough because I need to get it to 12. So I would need to draw one action off the top of my deck. So, okay, so maybe there's a world where I could have actually won with a Screaming Penguin that turn. Or I could have cleared the board with a drop of attention. So anyway, definitely felt like a good position. So yeah, okay, so this is how this is how it works against Colosseum. But remember, so in the first game, they had the popcorn to kind of beat the SimonSmasher. So without the popcorn and the SimonSmasher on the board, you're actually in a pretty good position against Colosseum because you can remove the Colosseum. But again, like both those, the first and the second Colosseum game, they had a very slow start. They didn't have the like complete just curve start. And so against a like slightly slowed start, you definitely have a chance. And I've been thinking about that first game. Like I still think I think there was a chance I could have maybe won it. I do feel like I made some mistakes there. So if you have ideas of what how I could have played that game better, please let me know. But yeah, okay, cool. All right, let's play one more. Before we jump to the next game, I want to make one small change to the deck just because I do feel that SimonSmasher is just so like I feel like we've just so much of all the previous 2 games have revolved around it, so I wanna put the 3rd copy back in, but what do I wanna take out? Yeah, because I guess Bamboo is the question. Alright, let's play the final list with the original Caution Fun list. The only difference is, I'm definitely gonna play the 3 drops of attention. So, the one here is Pengy down, or I guess I can take here. Let's take the Galaxy out. We'll take one more Here's Pengy out and put the Bamboo in. Well, no, because I feel like I've been low on actions. So okay, so let's just play like this. Let's just take out the Galaxy and we'll run all 4 Here's Pengy. So let's try to close it out like this. So we basically took out the Galaxy for the other drop. And other than that, it's the original list. So okay, so let's play a game like this and see how that goes. All right, so let's definitely keep heads I win, tails you lose because against Coliseum that card is so critical. So I think we'll throw everything else because we do really want penguins. But again, I think heads I win, tails you lose, especially after that. It's like really, I think that that's really the best way to buy yourself time. Okay, so we have the hand against yeah. So I guess we'll play LilSinger. No, I guess we can play TossUp as the rod. Again, I'm always hesitant to play Bunkus as the rod, just because A, if it actually is blue, we definitely need that. But B, it's just like if it's one of those like long sloggy games, Bunkus is just so good in those games. So it's a little unfortunate we drew it this early. But okay, so I think we're gonna just yeah, well, okay, so Screaming Penguin's more of a late game card. Because what we can basically do is we can just get LilSinger and Peace Out on the board and just keep everything flopped. So I think that'll be a decent start to the game. Okay, so this is this yellow? That would be very interesting if this is yellow. Um, who else would play Penguin of the Falling Leaves? So against yellow, so let's just assume it's yellow. Against yellow, a drop of attention is really critical. So but Peace Out should be good too, right? Peace Out is also just the standard, really good card against yellow. Okay, so this is okay, so it's definitely some sort of yellow. So we can so do we want to win a vibe check or not? Okay, I think we get rid of TrustFall. Okay, so the question is, I think we do we want to win the vibe check? I guess I could have put the SimonSmasher down. Um, no, I think we want to lose. I think we want to lose the vibe check. Yeah, because we basically just need to get, or I guess we can tie the vibe check. Well, we could always play, I guess. Um, heads I win, tails you lose. But we can do that next turn because if they're down to just one card in their hand, right, then we'll be able to play the heads I win, tails you lose. Because I'm worried about not your keys because not your keys will like kind of counter Peace Out Penguin. So okay, so I really just need I need have an encore or not have an encore drop of attention. So how am I going to get to drop of attention? Well, the alternative is PeaceOutPenguin might buy me a lot of time. So overall, yeah, so this matchup should be good. So, okay, so SimonSmasher can definitely become a Rod. That's not needed in this matchup. So, okay, now there's a green Mega Penguin. Now I really don't know what's happening. So it's, okay, so it's like, so maybe we do need SimonSmasher. Okay, so now I'm less sure about playing SimonSmasher as a Rod because this could have Coliseum. It's one of those yellow caffeine hybrid decks. Okay, well, at least I'm less worried about what's it called? I'm less worried about about not your keys. Okay, so let's try to get the card out of their hand. I'm not sure if I actually want to play use peace out here because we can always do that on a different turn. So let's see here. So because maybe we can, okay, yeah, let's see what we get out of their hand. Okay, not your keys. So they did have not your keys. Okay, well, I still don't need to use peace out yet, especially now that we got rid of not your keys. So, but how are we going to deal with the how are we going to deal with the green mega penguin? So we need screaming penguin. So option 1 is screaming penguin, option 2 is drop of attention. So peace out penguin will buy us a turn or two. Let's see what. Okay, so now we'll definitely play SimonSmasher because we get the removal. I want to hmm. Yeah, because I also need to keep all these cards. Yeah. Do I need to play the Bunkus as a Rod? It's really sad because yeah, but I guess we probably won't need it. I mean, hit the high note. I guess hitting the high note doesn't really matter because we're going to Simon Smash the um the inspiring story. So yeah, but we still don't really have an answer to the green mega penguin. So we need to keep losing vibe checks in order to do that. So yeah, so we'll play toss up and then we'll should I yeah, the question is should I get Simon Smasher actually up to 3 vibe? But I guess it's gonna be really hard. So let's because of the it's gonna be flopped this turn. Okay, so we draw the card. Okay, so little comic, that probably won't be useful. So okay, so how are we going to yeah, maybe I'm holding on to Bunkus too long. So yeah, we just really need a because at this point, even Screaming Penguin is gonna be hard to get big. So I need to get a lot of cards in my hand. So I think I just need to hold back cards and just play this really slow. Although Little Comic is I guess Little Comic will be good for seeing if they have a card in their hand. And so, okay, so SimonSmasher will get rid of the inspiring story. Next turn, Peace Out can get rid of these two. I guess Little Comic will just be a Pudge producer. So I could play Little Comic and then do LilSinger on the SimonSmasher just to protect it from popcorn in case that comes out. So overall, I should be in a good position from that perspective, but I do need to, yeah, I basically need drop of attention. And I did mulligan one away at the beginning. So that means that there is, yeah, so there's going to be only two left in the deck. So anyway, let's get rid of the inspiring story. So that will help. Okay, so yeah, we get rid of the inspiring story. And then yeah, so okay, so basically we get the drop of attention. Yeah, drop of attention will be good. And or screaming, but screaming will be difficult because we will only have one turn to use it. I guess from a card advantage perspective, we should be up, right? Because we're getting one card advantage with SimonSmasher, one card advantage with Peace Out Penguin, and one from Green Mega Penguin. So we would be up 3 card advantage of 3. So if we are up card advantage of 3, the Screaming Penguin turn, maybe we'll have enough. But okay, so let's just wait because right, we want the Peace Out to get a 2 for 1. So they'll get one more card. If they leave it in their hand, we can little comic it and see what it is. Okay, so Run It Back Penguin is great because this means with Run It Back Penguin, we're pretty much guaranteed to be able to get the HaveanEncore or the drop of attention off. So Run It Back Penguin will be good for that. but it's also a little yellow Mega Penguin. Okay, this is not what I was expecting. Okay, well, that was not ideal for sure. Um, so let's just get the Run It Back Penguin and the LilComic. So we're basically saying we need to get a drop of attention at this point. That was quite so. There's really no point to play the Here's Pengy this turn because I want to play it like first of all, I want to get both of my peace outs activated to buy a turn. Yeah, so yellow mega into yellow mega is not ideal. Okay, so we have 3 actions. So we really just need the drop of attention. So if we get okay, they still can't play Coliseum. Yeah, so okay, so this turn I have to do something. Okay, so I'll play the other piece out. And okay, at this point, I'm slowly giving up on the whole holding the bunkus thing. I think I've held this way too long. But okay, yeah, so I have the Insomniac Penguin. Okay, I guess I'll play this. Okay, so now I guess I'll play this too. So basically the idea is I need to get a drop of attention. I have one more turn to get it. So this turn I'll just remove stuff from their board. So by removing things from their board, I'll buy another 2 turns with the peace outs. Or maybe I'll just even remove one thing. Let's see what's okay. So put your flippers. Okay, so that'll be their rod. Okay, so we got the Screaming Penguin. So I think we'll wait because we got the Screaming Penguin. Right. With Screaming Penguin, maybe we can actually win a vibe check next turn with the run it backs. So we can wait. Um yeah, because with this Peace Out Penguin, we should get one more. We get one more turn basically. So okay, and then yeah, I guess we make guess we can make a run it back one bigger. I don't know if it really matters. Okay, so we really, really want a drop of attention. But okay, so using Screaming Penguin, um, yeah, Screaming Penguin. So okay, so we could maybe grow bigger. So like next turn we can still use Peace Out Penguin to keep them off of 15 and get our Screaming Penguin down. And then the turn after, okay, so have an encore is good. So okay, so that final turn, we have 2 run it back, Screaming, have an encore. We can draw a lot, so maybe we will get there. Okay, perfect. Because now the Peace Out can have 2 targets. Okay, so good thing we held that back. Okay, so we play the Screaming, or do we play the Insomniac this turn? Hmm. No, because we have to. Yeah, we'll play the Insomniac next turn. Okay, so I think the game plan is going to be basically just get as big as possible Screaming. So it's a little. Okay, so if heads I win, tails you lose. So the problem is, what if this is tails? They don't have anything in their hand. So the alternative is we could use one of the running backs this turn to get something like a Here's Pengy. That'll give us one more card. So I guess that will be worth it. Can we just no, because we can't just do it this turn. Yeah. So let's get the Here's Pengy. Um because I don't even want to win this vibe check. So I'd rather just get the guaranteed draw from Here's Pengy. And then next turn we're gonna go for the really big Screaming Penguin. So let's see. But I really would still like a drop of attention. SimonSmasher is not what we need. Okay, so we'll take out these 2. So that will buy us one more turn. And we will get our Screaming Penguin Yes, so it'll be good to get our Screaming Penguin because their green mega is gonna be at 12 next turn. So if we're getting our Screaming Penguin to 9 means we only have to play 3 actions, and I think we have 3 actions. So I think we should be able to make this. Okay, so they're gonna boost it. I don't think that matters, right? Because they're still gonna just be at 10, so it still will work. Okay, so I'm not sure about that. Okay, but that means that we get 2 more turns, right? Yeah, okay, so we get 2 more turns. So, okay, so I think that was a misplay on their part. So, overall, okay, we'll still so the question is, can we get because yeah, the problem is we won't even be at 14 next turn because 'cause we're only at 11 now. So, I think we actually need to survive 1 more turn. Um, so again, a drop of attention will be really good. But, okay, yeah, because if we survive 1 more turn. Yeah, because now they're at 11. So, okay, yeah. So that playing the not a rod anymore was a pretty big misplay because it's going to give me 1 more turn because they're at 11 now. They're going to draw just 1 card, play Lucky Penguin will become a rod. So that means they're going to be at 13 next turn. And so when they're at 13, okay. Well, now they're even less. Okay. So either way, we have well, yeah, okay. So we have 2 more turns for sure now. If we can remove the shy penguin, well, I guess only way would be another piece out. So now Bunkus is starting to look like it would have been good to have, right? Because what would Bunkus be? Bunkus would be one, two, three, would be an 8. So maybe not enough. Okay, so it's kind of nice, right, with Insomniac's Penguin. All right, so Penguin that doesn't mind goodbyes, but we're not really looking to. Okay, so we're just gonna get a giant screaming penguin. So we'll play SimonSmasher again. I think heads I win, tails you lose should just become a rod because I do want to make sure. Okay, because we're gonna lose this vibe check here. And then next turn when they're at 14, that's when because also now with, Penguin that doesn't mind goodbyes, there's really no point to clear the board because 'cause they're just gonna draw 2 cards or 1 card then, I guess. So I guess it's not that much. So I'll keep, increasing my Screaming Penguin will keep pace with the Green Mega Penguin in terms of size. And actually on the turn and so this is why I call this deck Miracle. So if anyone that doesn't know, that's a callback to Hearthstone with Miracle Rogue. Maybe Miracle Rogue from Hearthstone was a callback to a different deck, maybe a Magic deck or something. But either way, I know it as Miracle Rogue, and the idea is we have this one turn where we just play all these actions that's going to just result in a miracle. And so the way that this is going to work is basically we'll like use LilSinger to flop Screaming Penguin to give it a vibe counter. Then we'll play HeresPengy. Then we'll do HaveanEncore to unflop it. Then we'll play TossUp, and we'll just do all this stuff, and then we're gonna end up with a giant Screaming Penguin. So they're at 12. We're at 12. So overall, I feel like we're gonna be in a good position because I don't really see what card. So I guess if they draw a Coliseum, but if they draw a Coliseum, it's still fine as long as we can orient our SimonSmasher to have basically an action on the top of our deck. That's not a WhataTwist or have an encore. So either way, basically, okay, so yeah, so Coliseum we could potentially lose to Coliseum and what other cards? Maybe if they have another yellow mega train, but I think that won't be a real problem. So I think we're in a good position. Let's see what they get. Um yeah, they do have nine rods. So we still haven't seen a have an encore. So, or a drop of attention. A drop of attention. At this point, though, I'm not even sure how good it would be because, like I said, I have more penguins on board. All it would do is get rid of this green mega penguin. But again, like this deck, again, that's where Bunkus would be great. So if we played a drop of attention, then Bunkus basically comes out as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, as 16 vibe. And I don't think that they have a chance to deal with a 16 vibe penguin. So, but yeah, like Green Mega is quite annoying to deal with, for red. Has always been a problem for red. So let's see what they're gonna do. I think maybe they've been having connection issues. Okay, so they play out the penguin who zooms, which is yeah, good defense for them against that, but I think either way, I think we've got this. So we do have the peace out too, so we could get rid of like the penguin that does mine goodbyes, but I don't think it will be necessary. Like I think we're in a good space here because so basically with the we'll start with here's Pengy and see right. We can just use this Insomniac Penguin, and we basically like this is why Insomniac Penguin is in this deck for this turn here. I mean, also for the turn where we have the infinite where we do like just it on the board with what's it called, a drop of attention. But right, so let's see how many times because now we can potentially play toss up like we can play toss up infinite times. So hopefully we keep getting tails on toss up. But honestly, it doesn't really matter because we have Screaming Penguin. But if we get this back, so our Screaming Penguin's already 12. They're at 13. So right, even though Green Mega Penguin has been slowly growing, Screaming Penguin can in one turn burst grow much faster. So either way, I feel like we're in a good spot here because yeah, no matter what, we'll just play yeah, so we get this again. So basically, what we're saying is Screaming Penguin is infinite vibe right now if we get the luck right. But yeah, so we'll just play this one more time, and then our Screaming Penguin will be bigger. And yeah, but even if we didn't have that, right, we still had the Peace Out Penguin. Although I will say, they could have put me, if they didn't play any of the rods, if they didn't play the not a rod anymore and they got him, I would have been on a clock one turn faster than maybe I would have been able to do. I'm not sure. So, but okay. So either way, we're winning the vibe check now, which means we'll win the game. So maybe they have another got him. If they have a got him, they can get rid of the SimonSmasher, I guess. But so if they had two got hims, but I could also use the LilSinger to save the Insomniac from a got him. So yeah, so there you go. 3 games, and we've had Mega Penguin every game. Although this I think was not a Coliseum deck. Or maybe there's Coliseum in there. I also think this game would have been much tighter if they didn't play the not a rod anymore on that turn. All right, so we played 3 games and we won 2 of them. Lost 1 to Coliseum, won 1 against Coliseum. So overall, yeah, overall this deck is a ton of fun to play. Definitely a higher skill cap deck. The games are long. You'll notice this video is much longer than my typical videos. And on top of that, yeah, I think it's against Coliseum. I wouldn't say this is just like an auto win or even a favored matchup, but it does have lines in order to beat Coliseum. So I don't think this is that like secret tech to destroy Coliseum, but it is something if you want to not play Coliseum and still have a fighting chance against it and have really a lot of other matchups can go very well with this deck, especially if they don't know what you're playing or aren't used to playing against you. So anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.